Hi, I'm Kendra Goodman from the softball team. You're watching Clan TV, home of Canada's NCAA team.
I'm Cole Bassrich. I'm on the men's soccer team. You're watching Clan TV, home of Canada's NCAA team.
And welcome everybody to the West Gym here at Simon Fraser University atop Burnaby Mountain. It is GNAC men's basketball live on Clan TV. Welcome everybody to this video streaming game of the Simon Fraser Clan taking on the visiting number 4 nationally ranked Western Oregon Wolves. It's going to be one of the toughest games this Clan team will face this season. Simon Fraser still 0-6 in the GNAC, looking for that first victory, and it will be a very, very big challenge today overall as they take on the 12-2 Western Oregon Wolves, also with a 5-1 record in the Great Northwest Athletic Conference. I'm Howard Samura here, courtside with the play-by-play. I'll be joined by our analyst today, Zahid Valley Hashim, and it's going to be a stern test, Zahid, for this Simon Fraser team. Some of your thoughts on where this Clan team and what they can accomplish with a great effort here tonight.
Well, thanks for the welcome, Howard. Looking forward to this broadcast here with you. And you're right, it is going to be a stern test. I mean, obviously Western Oregon is one of the top teams in the conference, and as you mentioned, ranked number 4 in the nation with a 12-2 record. And one of those losses was to Division I Oregon. So, I mean, if you take that one off, they're 12-1 team. Obviously, the Clan completely opposite from that with 1-11 and looking for their first conference win. So they are going to face a tough battle. Obviously, one of the players that to focus on here is going to be Andy Avgi in the post, and doubles as a tight end on the football team, and big body out there, and he's one of the top guys in the conference in terms of points per game and also field goal percentage. So it'll be a tough battle for the Clan, and interesting to see how they match up against the size there.
It's interesting that you referenced Oregon, Zahid. I actually saw the first half of that basketball game because Western Oregon was playing. I was really curious to watch it. The game played in Eugene, Oregon, and wow, I was just pretty darn impressed with the way not only Avgi but all their guys played in that first half. They ended up getting blown out a bit at the end, but the first half was a tightly contested game, and that's a Pac-12 team playing at home. So this is the level you're going to get today. The Simon Fraser Clan are going to face against this Western Oregon team.
Absolutely, and and it's becoming more commonplace in the league. You'll see, Alaska hosts their Division I tournament. So, it's the caliber, and that says a lot about the caliber of the GNAC in terms of scheduling these Div 1 games with these big Div 1 programs. Is it just shows the caliber of the league, and it is a tough league, and SFU's got their work cut out for them here. And I know you're a big Ducks fan, so of course I should have thought that you would have watched at least part of that game. Unfortunately, I don't have 150 sports channels to catch all those feeds, but I'm sure if anyone does, it's you, Howard.
Well, you know what? You mentioned Avgi and the great two-sport athlete that he is, and 21.3 a game, as you mentioned. The guy's coming in here shooting almost 60% from the field. He's going to be an absolute threat. And as well, we can talk about the fact that this roster for Western Oregon, they're starting 4 seniors with this group, and that's got to count for a whole lot too. These guys know the deal. They know what the GNAC road games are all about, don't they?
Absolutely, and I mean on the other side, SFU is obviously a very young team, so it's going to be an experience for them. And I think every game has been an experience in that they're a very young team, and playing these veteran teams across the league. These teams that have nourished these these teams and built these programs over a number of years, and obviously Coach Hill kind of inherited a team, if you will, and he's got some work to do in terms of recruiting for the years coming ahead. But he's really adamant that he wants to build a program and get young guys in, develop them, so that in 2, 3, 4 years from now, he's going to have guys who can play at this level and be seniors.
Well, let's reference those Clan players that we're going to be seeing today. And as you mentioned, a really young team. They're down to 9 on their roster, and a pretty significant loss today. Max Barkley, academically ineligible, is here with the team. He's actually, according to NCAA rules, has to sit behind the bench. So we see him sitting on that chair right behind the Clan bench. Not only that, Denver Sparks guest and Mr. Rudd out of St. Michael's University School, no longer with this program. Pop Sec, the big guy here, is also not with this team anymore. So 4 guys have left this program. What do these depleted numbers mean now?
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're going to have to be, sound defensively and not pick up too many fouls, because if you get in a situation where you get deep into the bench, lack thereof, it's going to be, it's going to be a tough grind out there. Obviously, losing Barkley is one of the top scorers in the league. That's a tough loss. I believe he has a meeting on Friday with the league to see if he can become eligible again, and hopefully we'll see him play on Saturday. But they're going to lose a lot of points with him not dressing tonight, and other guys are going to have to step up and make shots and play their butts off.
They certainly are
keep in this game.
Yeah, and as well, talk about some of these Simon Fraser Clan players. O'Shea Gary's been a guy who has really impressed me this season, a freshman out of Cleveland, Ohio, St. John's Catholic Prep as well. 6'3", 170. Some of your thoughts on how he's progressed?
And I've seen him, obviously I've been at every game, and just seeing him progress, the whole team has naturally progressed. I mean, I think there's some issues initially, and there's they're building that chemistry, and things are really coming together, and I'm really impressed with O'Shea as a freshman, coming in and playing at this level. It's a testament to his work ethic and his skill set to be able to start him as a freshman and play in these games, right?
And certainly I know he wants to grow with the team, but a guy like O'Shea Gary, when I've watched him one-on-one in the open floor, is a guy that's pretty hard to beat.
Absolutely. I mean, he's quick, he's great with the ball, and I think he can beat anyone down the floor off the dribble in this league.
And the rest of the starters here, and we'll get to them when they're introduced, but it will include J.J. Pankratz, Jabron Sawani, Michael Harper, and Andrew Williamson, the Australian out of Sydney. The redshirt sophomore is going to get a shot today.
Yeah, and that's an interesting one for me. It's his first start. He's only seen action in 7 games, and he's only played 8 minutes per game, so it'll be interesting to see how he does. Obviously, Coach Hill might see some kind of a matchup there, or maybe he's just short on bodies, and that's the guy he needs to be out there in terms of size, right? So. All
right. Well, he is Zahid Vali Hashim, and he's joined us as our analyst here today. I'm Howard Simura. We're getting down to the zeros on the pregame clock, and we will get set for the playing of the anthems and the introductions of the teams, and we will join you on Clan TV prior to the opening tip.
Oh, I don't know when needed.
Do you want to go back on while we...
We can if you want. I don't care.
I was just going to wait. And welcome back, everybody, to the West Gym here at Simon Fraser University. And Z, I can tell you that's got to be the first time in Canadian basketball, or maybe SFU history anyway, that two Australians are in the starting lineup on the same night. Hate to see.
Yeah, you're not going to see that too often, to have two Aussies on the floor at the same time starting for SFU. So obviously maybe some kind of connection there will develop, and we'll get some good action out of those guys out there.
One from Sydney, one from Melbourne. Of course, Michael Harper, number 10, is the veteran in this clan group, number 10. And as we mentioned off the top, Andrew Williamson, number 2, the redshirt sophomore out of Scots College, Sydney, Australia, getting his first NCAA Division II start today. And we're getting set now for the opening tip, and stepping up to the circle now, number 32 is going to be Andy Avgi against the Simon Fraser Clan, and Gibran Sawani, number 21. Clan will win the opening tip-off, and O'Shea Geary with a chance to get his team on the scoreboard first. Here are the Simon Fraser Clan in white, and they are facing the Western Oregon Wolves. Great move by Geary in the paint. Nice little runner off the window. And a quick 2-0 lead for Simon Fraser. Nice way to start for the locals. This Western Oregon team obviously coming in on a huge roll, sitting with that 12-2 record on the season. The toughest task the Clan are going to face this year in the GNAC, and very quickly, they don't miss. Number 22, Jordan Wiley, knocks down the three-pointer in a quick 1-point lead here for Western Oregon. Harper looking for Sawani on the outside of the block. Gibran, the turnaround shot is going to rattle off the rim and not fall. But a good look at the basket for Simon Fraser on 2 straight possessions here. Western Oregon now in the half court. They'll kick it back out, and that's Devon Alexander. Can't get the roll, and ripped out of the sky by Sawani. And again, Simon Fraser with O'Shea Geary quickly down the floor to Harper. Looking for Pankratz. Nice little hesitation move. Gets JJ into the paint. Some contact there and no foul called. And you can hear head coach Virgil Hill right by our broadcast location asking for the foul there he's not going to get. Simon Fraser now with Geary driving into the contact. And this time they're going to wave it off and call offensive foul.
And Coach Hill is not happy with that call. He thought there was a lot of contact on the drive prior to that, and I'd have to agree with him on that one. And I think we really needed a call on that previous drive there.
Back-to-back calls going against the Clan there. Virgil Hill in the ear of the officials. Simon Fraser coming into this game 0-6 in the GNAC Z, and obviously wanting to get off the schneid tonight. But what a quality opponent they're facing here. Trailing 3-2 early, but getting some good aggressive looks at the basket early. Turnaround shot is going to fall on the baseline there for Avgi. We talked about Andy Avgi shooting 60% from the field, and he shows you why he's 2 for 2 thus far, I believe, in this contest. Williamson quickly to Pankratz, another drive to the basket. JJ's jump stop off the back window, won't fall, tip though into the hands of Geary for 3. And O'Shea a bit strong off the iron. Western Oregon now with a chance to build on this 5-2 lead. They'll start their weave in the half court here as Alexander finds a clear path to the basket. There are some challenges trying to stop this Western Oregon team. So many different weapons on the floor to try and defend, and that time it was Alexander, the nice drive to the basket. Harper, quick look from 3. Michael Harper's going to rattle home a shot. The Clan have had some quality looks here early.
They have, and I'm really impressed with how they've come out. You know, we've seen them come out flat at certain times over the season, but I really feel like, you know, the energy, obviously we're courtside here, so we can kind of get a feel, but I feel there's a lot of energy, and, you know, they got off the start. I mean, that first layup to start the game is a good start for them, and, you know, now they just got to build on that.
Yeah, you're right about that, Z. Don't want to fall behind big time early. There's a miss there by the Wolves. Number 10 there with the jumper, Julian Nichols. Nice, a fast break, and Harper right down the floor to Sewanee, and so Siobhan Sewanee able to tie this game at 7. So nice quick look there by Harper. Decisive play is always going to help you. Michael Harper quickly finding Sabrani for the layup. Avgi underneath. You look at Andy Avgi and you think, hey, this kid plays football as well, as you mentioned off the top, Z. He's got a pair of soft hands so underneath the basket.
Yeah, he sure does, and that was a great under the basket move and reverse layup there.
Williamson, he's got to look at the basket. He'll swirl in and out of the cylinder. Avgi with a rebound. And very quickly coming back up the floor now is going to be Nichols. Julian Nichols working off the Avgi screen at the top. He'll get it back to Avgi for the triple. Back iron miss. Pankratz with a rebound. Quickly Williamson. Andrew pushing across half court to Geary. Turnaround shot is actually a pass and a kick back up top to Pankratz for 3. Off the back iron, Avgi skies for that rebound. Andy Avgi doing a great job there of getting his team back down the floor, and there's a miss there by number 10, Nichols. A whistle underneath. Out of bounds, but it'll stay with the Wolves. Media timeout on the floor. So Simon Fraser coming out and answering the bell. 9-7 they trail, but a nice high tempo to this game, and Simon Fraser not backing away. And I know you'll agree, Z, if they get behind early big time in a game like this, they can drain all the emotion that Simon Fraser's built up. So a nice response by Virgil Hill's team here. That's
absolutely. I mean, that 3 down there was big. I mean, you know, you miss that and you come down the other way, and, you know, it turns into maybe an 11-4 lead, 7 points. And, you know, this team is a team that has struggled to come back when facing an early deficit. So, you know, I'm happy with the 2-point spread right now, and, you know, hopefully they can, you know, chip away and, you know, force some turnovers. You know, Western Oregon started off 4 of 9 from the floor, so 5 misses, and, you know, SFU's got all 5 rebounds, so I like that.
That's a good stat. And Avgi, as we've mentioned, off the top, coming in averaging 21.3 points per game, second highest in the conference. And you see this kid and you see all the different things he can do as a senior on this team. He brings the big wide body with the soft shooting touch, and already Avgi making a huge difference for this Western Oregon team. You see him wearing number 32 as he comes out onto the floor here in red with the Wolves. Simon Fraser keeping their starters on the floor. That'll be Alex Roth, number 2, set to inbounds for the Wolves. We are just under 5 minutes into the opening half. I hope you're enjoying the broadcast thus far on Clan TV. Here's Avgi, a drive to the basket against Sewanee. And I just wonder if there's any kind of one-on-one answer for Avgi in this conference. Avgi taking the matchup there against Sewanee, going right to the rack for the layup, and Simon Fraser not as efficient as they want to be, coming back down the floor, trying to push the tempo and throwing it out of bounds. Clan in the half court now. They'll go to number 2, Roth. Ross cross-court pass to number 22, Wiley, and he drives in. We hear a whistle underneath the basket. But Wiley stepping to the free throw line. We can let you know that tonight's game is being presented by White Spot, proud sponsor and supporter of SFU Athletics. From cheering on the sidelines to providing award-winning burgers to fuel athletes and fans before or after a game, White Spot has your back. To find a White Spot location near you, visit whitespot.ca. And the Clan now with the basketball. O'Shea Geary running the point here. Finding Pankratz on the baseline. JJ's kick across to Williamson. He'll dribble, drive, and pass to Pankratz. A jump stop. Little hook shot is going to fall for JJ. A nice move there for the Yale product out of Abbotsford.
That was a great move, caught the ball on the wing on the left side and, made a good drive, beat his defender and got some contact there and drew the foul. So he'll be rewarded here with the free throw.
An N1 opportunity, as he says, and a great job by JJ Pankratz to establish himself in this Clan lineup. And I think we can say, since SFU's coming into the NCAA, as Pankratz makes the N1, the most impact made by a BC player in this lineup since they've gone Division II has been number 22, JJ Pankratz. He's done a solid job and brings that big wingspan, that big frame to the court. Nice job there with the N1. Off the window, though, they'll get two of those back very quickly, and that is the number 2, Alex Roth. 14-10, the score very quickly down the floor is going to be Williamson. And Simon Fraser showing a lot of grit here, a lot of competitiveness. And they're running with the big dogs here in the GNAC, the Western Oregon Wolves wearing the red. Here's Roth. Number 11, Tanner Omlid now into the game as well. Turnaround shot by Avgi, tough shot and great D from Sewanee, but they need to chase down the loose balls as well, and they don't do it there. So getting the new shot clock now, Julian Nichols of the Wolves. We're going to get number 23, Tyrell Lewin. The Clan checking in the next stoppage. The jumper hoisted there is not going to fall for Nichols, and Simon Fraser with a chance to tie or take the lead here. O'Shea Geary entering in the post to Sewanee. What can he do against Avgi? Hook shot is gonna fall. Big shot there underneath by Jabron Sewanee.
That's a great move, and he's a guy who's struggled with minutes and his time on the floor, and that's a great move, and that's a confidence-building basket for him.
Well, I would think, and you can let me know your thoughts. When you got to guard one of the best players in the conference, it's going to take some energy, but you've also, when you do a good job, it's going to inspire you at the other end, isn't it?
Absolutely, and these guys knew what they were getting into. They know how good this Western Oregon Wolves team is, and they came obviously ready to play today.
Yeah, that is the key thing. Being ready to play, I agree with you completely. As we look at the replay of the attempt, backing him down, the big guy Sewanee getting that nice turnaround hook to fall, and a 14-14 tie, 6.5 minutes into the opening half of play. It's the GNAC on Clan TV. Simon Fraser doing a solid job as Geary drives to the basket. And again, the call will go against the Clan.
It's another offensive foul on O'Shea Geary. It's his second foul and his second offensive foul of the game here.
And you know what, O'Shea Geary turns around, he looks at the bench, and he's letting Coach Hill know, it's okay. I'm going to keep it together on the floor. Don't pull me. O'Shea Geary learning a lot as a pure freshman here in this Clan lineup. There's Omlid, the drive. The kick is going to be intercepted by Geary, who's going to get his hands on a loose ball, lead the Clan up the floor, looking for Williamson, who goes right to the rack, and Williamson can't finish. Ooh, and is Geary going to get the call? He is. O'Shea Geary following. Great hustle by number 1. Omlid's going to get called for the foul.
Yeah, and there's a lot of contact on the play, and the referee is a little late, and you see Coach Hill jumping out of his chair to get a call on that, and the referee did come in a bit late, but nevertheless the right call was made, and Gary's going to shoot 2 here.
So Geary rewarded. He didn't let the offensive foul get to him on one end. He worked hard on the defensive ends. He got that tip, led his team back up the floor, followed on the miss, and is rewarded, the hustle rewarded with these free throw chips in a 15-14 lead for Simon Fraser over an NCAA Division II number 4 ranked in one poll at least, Western Oregon. 1 of 2, and it's a 1-point Clan lead. Coming across court now for Western Oregon, it's Kadeem Strickland, number 3, newly checked into this game. Strickland running the point a bit right now. That's Jordan Schreiber, number 24, giving up the ball to Janvier Alabi, number 4. So some big changes on the floor for head coach Jim Shaw and company. Trying to drive and dish, though, Devon Alexander. It's going to go through the hands of Omlid. And some turnovers here that are helping Simon Fraser.
I was just going to say, SFU has been turnover prone, but Western Oregon has 3 turnovers to start this game, and, SFU obviously has 3 as well. But, these turnovers are really sparking things on the other end, and it's, it's making those turnovers count, right, is what matters here.
Williamson for 3, and he knocks it down. Andrew Williamson was just going to say, this kid looks great in the starting lineup. He knocks down the big triple, 18-14, Simon Fraser.
I love the confidence he's playing with right now.
Yeah, you can see it, and he looks like he belongs with this starting group. Of course, Max Barkley, not able to start in this game, and Williamson in his place is doing a terrific job. Can they make that energy continue on the defensive end? We'll see as Harper comes up defensively, lowers the boom, and we're going to have immediate timeout on the floor. But Simon Fraser playing as well as they played, and we will take a quick look at that on the replay via Clan TV replay and look at what's happening here as Williamson poised, knocking down the triple. 18-14. I'm surprised this Clan team has played well in spurts, but this is a nice extended start to this opening half of this opening quarter of play.
This is a great start for SFU to lead by 4 points early. We're going to get some stats here in a second, see how we're doing. But I love the confidence that they're playing with. They're playing like a solid core, cohesive team, and I like it. And Williamson, is a spark plug. I mean, he's got 5 points. He's 2 of 4. He hit the big 3. And I love it. I just love it.
I love the fact that O'Shea Geary didn't let that offensive foul, the second offensive foul of the game, get in his way. He got a tip there. Exactly. He got the ball back. He followed, got the 2 free throws.
And I mean, he's on the bench now, and I think that's a smart move because if he gets a little bit too aggressive and he picks up his 3rd, he could be in trouble. But I love the hustle on the defensive end. You're right. He didn't let that second foul get to him. Second offensive foul, which is even a tougher pill to swallow at times. It's not as much as a defensive foul, but the hustle play on the defense, the tip. Rebound leads to a score the other way, and that's a great play by him.
Well, the stats in this game, Simon Fraser coming out there shooting 7 of 14 as a team, 50% from the field, 50% from beyond the arc at 2 of 4 as well, 2 of 3 from the free throw line, doing a solid job here. The 3 turnovers coming over the first few minutes of this game, first 8 minutes, but solid job being done by the Clan. There's a 3-pointer from the corner. Alexander can't make that fall, and hit a Voss, number 3. Danish import now into the game, of course, here last year as part of James Blake's program. Here's Voss coming off the screen up top to J.J. Pankratz. They go to Williamson, who has not left the floor yet. He's doing a dynamite job, and this kid Williamson, wow, he is an energy player. He's got free throw trips here. He's making something happen every time down the floor.
I love the energy that he's playing with, and he's probably really excited to get the start, and it's showing out there. He's got 6 points. He's he's leading the game in scoring. Him and Abke both have 6 points.
Well, and Michael Harper, of course, the veteran, the senior, the guy that has most consistently led this team in scoring, also on the floor as Williamson makes a free throw there. And was big shout out to all those in Sydney, Australia, who are able to tune into Clan TV today. If you're watching, and you got a reason to be proud of Andrew Williamson wearing number 2, doing a solid job here for the Simon Fraser Clan. Western Oregon now in the half court. That's Julian Nichols, number 10. Nichols trying to break down Williamson off the dribble. He comes to a jump stop, pivots and turns in the paint. Can't get the turnaround shot to fall. Great job to offensive rebound though underneath. Jordan Wiley though can't make it pay, and here come the Clan again. Simon Fraser with a 6-point lead. Great job high off the glass there by Harper's not going to fall. Lewin following, can't make anything happen there for the Clan, and here comes Western Oregon again. Simon Fraser's been all about making defensive stops here today, and they have bared down with some responsibility on the defensive end. Alexander to Roth, looking down low to the big man Avgi. It looks like the foul is going to be called on number 23, Tyrell Lewin, down low. Indeed, it will, his first of the game. Tyrell Lewin is a interesting freshman out of Toronto, Ontario, 6'7", 208. Is that ever a basketball frame? I love the wingspan. And a big part of that freshman recruiting class by Virgil Hill. Drive off the top is going to go and fall for number 10, Julian Nichols, the 6'2" senior out of Upland, California. And they're going to get another steal here and get right back down the floor. Nichols can't make it fall, and Pankratz with a rebound.
And SFU's lucky that they didn't make that one count down here.
Well, we'll see what they can do off the stop. They're going to put up a 3 from Harper, and Harper's going to knock it down. Michael Harper in Australia has come to Burnaby Mountain. The land down under. Harper and Williamson knocking down trays, and they have Simon Fraser leading 23-16 in this first half of play as we've just reached the midway point of the opening half of play. What a job by the senior and the freshman from the land down under. There's Avgi, though. Harper going to the ground trying to stop Big 32. And I believe Avgi was here. Z, you'd know this for sure. Western Oregon did play Simon Fraser in Burnaby this year, I think, in football.
They did, and he lines up at the tight end position on the football team there, as you can see why, with a frame like that.
No kidding. He looks like a tight end out there. Trying to split the defense. The Clan are going to get called for the foul there. Devon Alexander, his drive to the basket impeded by Hide Voss, who gets called for the foul. And this is a real international group with 2 Australians and a player from the Netherlands on the floor right now, along with a Toronto native and one from good old downtown Abbotsford in JJ Pankratz, number 22. Here's Avgi. Passing out of the high post, is going to find a cutter to the basket and can't finish. There was Nichols, or Wiley, check that. But steaming in to get that loose ball and make him pay is Alex Roth. And Virgil Hill didn't like that. Quickly summons Gibran Sawani off the bench. But Hide Voss is going to knock down the 3. And the Clan's international contingent back-to-back-to-back trays.
And they're shooting the ball well from 3 today. They're 4 of 7 from 3, and that's a great start. And that'll keep you in a game like this.
It certainly can, and you're right about that, Z. Great 3-point shooting, and Voss, a huge basket there. And a great job there by Harper defensively. You saw him hang in, and he's going to cause the travel. Roth getting called for the travel there. It'll nullify what just happened. And
we just saw Williamson come out of the game, so a well-deserved break. Just playing over 11 and a half minutes of this game, and he's going to take a seat here. Probably might not be used to playing that many minutes right off this, or in one stint, I guess.
He's got to be feeling good about things. Yeah. Bowen Bakken, number 11 out of Delta Secondary, the redshirt freshman, number 11 now into the game for the Clan. Sawani facing the basket, and Avgi drive and kick across to Voss. And Hide now putting his head down, driving a little spin move, fading shot in the paint's going to fall. You can't knock the shot making of this Clan team in the first half.
And they're hitting their shots. They're shooting 50%, 10 of 20, and I love the fadeaway jumper, Howard.
Well, Western Oregon's going to get a couple of those back, but it doesn't dismiss what Simon Fraser has done here. They have continually found ways to score the basketball inside and out, and boy, when you look at Gibran Sawani doing a good job on the floor against Andy Avgi, not an easy job there for Sawani. He's doing a solid job, the native out of Torrance, California. Foul being called now for a push on Devon Alexander. Media timeout on the floor. Time for us to let you know about some things happening in and around the campus at Simon Fraser University. Off the top, we'll tell you Concordia University is going to be in here on Saturday for a 7 o'clock game as the Simon Fraser men continue their homestand. As well, the Simon Fraser swimming and diving team will be hosting the University of Victoria Vikes in a dual meet this Sunday at 1 p.m. Come out and support the Clan, or you can watch on Clan TV with their live coverage of the meet at athletics.sfu.ca/swimlive. We can also let you know that the women's basketball team's annual Pink Game is happening on Saturday, January the 30th, when the team hosts Western Oregon here at the West Gym. An online donation site is available, and there are lots of exciting activities planned for the event. You can find all of the details at athletics.sfu.ca/WBB Pink Game. Howard Shimura, Zahid Vali Hassam as well, joining you courtside here from the West Gym atop of Burnaby Mountain. And I'd like to say in every game here, if you're watching us from outside the borders of Canada, wherever you may be in the U.S. or around the world, I hope you're enjoying this broadcast on Clan TV. Simon Fraser, the distinction of being the only non-U.S. institution in the entire NCAA. And so you're watching a special team here, one of a kind, the Simon Fraser Clan, clearly Canadian. And they have a 28-22 lead. The Z has passed along some of the stats here, and as he mentioned, 10 of 20 for the Clan from the field, 4 of 5 from the free throw line. You can make that 5 of 6 as Harper measures his first free throw, knocks it down for a 7-point advantage here. Harper is going to go 1 of 2, missing on the second. The rebound there, scooped up by the Wolves, number 11, Tanner Omlet. Nick Nistel, number 12, is also checked into this game. Avgi putting down his head, driving right by Sewanee and right to the basket.
And he's a tough guy to stop out there with that. He's athletic for his size, like some of the moves and his finish, his touch.
Talked about those soft hands off the top. You're right, Z. He is a complete package out there on the floor. A force of nature, as much of one as you're going to find in the GNAC. Of course, as Z mentions, the tight end on that Wolves football team. There's a great move down low. Sewanee stripped of the ball but fouled underneath. And the official Mike Thompson making the call. The foul on the play being assessed to Tanner Omlet.
Howard, you know, one thing I noticed out there, we have 5 fouls upside, but SFU's earning the shots at the free throw line with their fouls, while, you know, Western Oregon's only gone to the line twice. But you see SFU, they've gone to the line 6 times now, so, you know, obviously their fouls are coming under the paint, drives to the basket. They're really playing hard and getting those fouls down low.
That's a great point to make. They're active, they're decisive, and they're not passive tonight. You're right about that, Z. I love to see that in this Clan team. They've struggled, they're winless in the conference, and here comes the best team in the conference. What are they going to do? What are they going to have as an answer? And right now it's a 7-point lead, 6:55 to the half. Western Oregon, Julian Nichols, number 10, up top to Avgi. Moving with him to the basket are the Clan defenders, and Avgi is going to get fouled. It's just going to be the Western Oregon modus operandi. Are they just going to get the ball in the hands of Avgi facing the basket, clear out and let the big guy do his thing? Because, as we said off the top, maybe the most unstoppable one-on-one guy in this conference.
Yeah, he is, and, you know, and it's SFU obviously not that big in the post, so they're going to have a tougher time stopping him. I mean, he's 5 of 7, good for 12 points now in the game here, and he is definitely a force.
Hide Voss with a foul there, his second of the game, and really puts a premium on Sewanee's ability to play great positional defense, trust the rest of his guys to help and do what they can here, but the over and back is going to turn it over. Simon Fraser, as we see number 20, Graham Smith, the freshman out of Pitt Meadows, now checked into the game wearing number 20. (76-47) over Seattle Pacific. That is the score for your SFU women tonight. So great job by head coach Bruce Langford and company down in the Emerald City today, getting a big win in the conference against the Seattle Pacific. We thank producer engineer Gabriel Lynn for passing that score on. And the point guard, and we'll talk Australia again, Z, because Alan Kett had 23 points. A great job by the starting Clan point guard. But we can't stop calling this guy's name, Andy Avgi. Making a tough shot, drawing the contact in the N1 opportunity there for the big guy. They're cutting into this margin, Z.
They are, and, you know, they're going to their strength, and they're going to Avgi, and they know that SFU's, you know, got a really tough time matching up against him, and they're doing a good job of exploiting that matchup.
Wow, 31-29. It's now a 2-point lead here for the Clan, 6:10 from the half, and clearly the theme defensively for Simon Fraser the rest of the half. What are they going to do in response to try and slow down the train that is Andy Avgi? Turning the corner, Williamson jump stop, great pass on the baseline to his countryman Michael Harper for the lay-in, and that's a nice response. Harper, nice drive on the baseline for that layup. Great play by Williamson. Here is Nichols. And we'll go to Wiley, number 22, kick it back up top to Nichols. Julian, the drive to the basket off the window, falls short. Battling for that basket underneath was Graham Smith. But Harper with the ball in tempo, quickly to Voss for the three. Off the back iron and into the hands of Avgi. Checking into the game now for Western Oregon is going to be number 2, Alex Roth, as well. Number 11, Tanner Omlet. Avgi is going to sit. And an opportunity here for the Clan to make some hay if they can. Williamson, Lewin, Smith, Voss, and Harper on the floor right now for Simon Fraser. Big time three being knocked down there. No problem at all for Nick Nestel. He measures up the big one there, and the Clan lead cut down at 1 point, 33-32.
And they just can't get discouraged right now. They got to keep battling and keep their heads up here.
Well, attack mode, you're right. The attack mode there for Williamson. He had a great look at the basket, couldn't finish it there. Recycling underneath, though, is hustle from number 11, Tanner Omlid. They can't score it, and the Clan with a chance to add a basket here, and oh, they leave it just shy. They have had two great looks at the basket on back-to-back takes by Williamson, and now Voss unable to score it for the Clan. A tough break for Simon Fraser, the last two possessions down the floor. Wolves at the top with Omlid. He's going to drive to the baseline. Tough shot, and he will get the shooter's roll. And a lead returns to Western Oregon. They're now up 34-33. I believe a timeout being called here, so we'll call one as well and be back with you after these messages on Clan TV.
At any given moment at the keg, something special is happening.
When I first came to SFU, I thought I knew exactly what I wanted. When I got into my second semester, I suddenly wasn't so sure what I wanted to do anymore. So I started to explore a little bit. Archaeology, communications, history, even kinesiology. And then I decided to go on exchange to France for a year. I was an orientation leader for a year, became a community advisor in residence, helped start a choir. I even took a rowing course. After SFU, I have lots of possibilities of what I could do, but whatever I do, I know I'll be ready for it.
And we are back with you at the West Gym. Howard Samura, Zahid Valley Hashem on Clan TV. Hope you're enjoying this broadcast. Simon Fraser has just fallen behind by a point. The Clan had led by as many as 8. But they have, there's been a 9-point swing now in Western Oregon with the 1-point lead at 34-33, 4:16 remaining. And Z, your thoughts on what is most important to maintain as much momentum as you can from the great effort they've had over the final 4:16 of this half?
I mean, yeah, obviously they came out to a good start and they were battling toe-to-toe with Western Oregon. Obviously, Western Oregon has changed things up a bit. They've really gone to Avgi a lot, and they've, with the foul trouble that SFU has had, they've been able to exploit that matchup, and he's really shown his experience
he has
and skill to get them back a lead in this game, right?
Well, you know what? They're 14 of 29 from the field, Z, but Avgi is 6 of 8, and he's got 15 points in 15 minutes. The Jordan counter in effect here right now, a point a minute pace for Avgi, who's doing a terrific job, as Z mentioned, 6 of 8. The kid can't miss, and he's done just a terrific job, and it will be what we will watch most closely over the final 4:16 of this opening half of play. What answer they have for the guy wearing number 32, Andy Avgi, the redshirt senior out of Woodburn, Oregon. Smith inbounding the ball to O'Shea Geary, now back on the floor. Coach Geary, those 2 early offensive fouls, he's back in the game now in the final 4:10. Up top to Smith, the handoff to Harper, and a weave here. Harper, reversal to Sewanee. Back up top, they're going to look down into the corner again. Smith, little skip pass to Sewanee. Almost lost a handle. Gibran now driving, 7 on the shot clock. Swirling shot is not going to fall for him as he cuts through the paint. Julian Nichols now getting his team into offense in the half court. Decides to keep it himself. Little pass to the baseline corner, won't go, but he's there to follow the miss of his shooter to get the rebound and recycles the shot clock. Here come the Wolves again on the baseline into a double team. And laying down the lumber down low are the Clan. So J.J. Pankratz getting called for his first foul of the game. At least they're making Western Oregon earn it in the half court.
They are, and I mean, Western Oregon is getting a couple good looks early in fast break transition, so it's nice, if they can take anything out of this, is that they're able to slow them down a little bit and force them into a half court set to make them earn their baskets.
Earn their baskets, not giving them the easy stuff, and that's key against a explosive team like Western Oregon. I mentioned off the top that in their game at Eugene against the Oregon Ducks, what a solid first half they played as a Division II team. against Big Brother in the state. They really held their own for one half in that game, and that really tells you the quality that this team can bring on the road, and they are now leading 36-33 over the Clan in white. There's O'Shea Geary on the far wing, kicking back up top to Voss. He'll skip it down low, back to the basket. Harper kick back up top. Geary is going to pull up from about 17 off the side iron, and Avgi with the rebound. Julian Nichols now. On the point here the last few times down the floor, doing a solid job there. He's a guy that loves to find those open lanes to the basket if they present themselves, this time to the far corner. Roth with a short little jumper that's not going to fall. Clan doing their job defensively now, getting down the floor with Harper. He's going to go right to the rim, and Harper is going to get the roll. And the Clan now trailing by 1.
And that's a big basket. I mean, there was a bit of a drought there, and it's good to get that in. And they're down by 1, so get a stop here. A nice easy 2 down the other end, and they're up by a single. Yeah,
this is where you can build some confidence. And Avgi, great turning move, doesn't score it. And Voss now leading the break for the Clan. Skip pass in transition to Harper. Michael with a big basket there, and he gets the N1 opportunity. Michael Harper playing fantastic basketball the last 2 trips down the floor. And Z, you called it. They get the stop, they get the basket in transition, and the bonus is going to be the N1 here.
And that was a fast break transition, and that makes a difference. They great break by Voss. The great pass in the N1 is a great response to that, and get them back into this game here.
Yeah, Avgi's swirling turn move there in the paint. If he scores that, that's even more momentum. Harper struggled from the free throw line in this first half, but nonetheless, a Clan lead with 2:17. Who would have thunk it against number 4 in the country? Western Oregon, the GNAC powers in town. The Clan playing without 4 regulars and down to 9 players, have a 1-point lead. But that lead will be surrendered there on the jumper as Jordan Wiley knocks it down. It's 39-37 for Western Oregon, under 2 minutes remaining. There is O'Shea Geary, little hesitation. Trying to find some contact and perhaps an opportunity get to the free throw line, but nothing called there as Geary comes up shy. Gary's Nichols. Julian Nichols looking, he would love to feed Avgi, but good job of switching defense there by Sewanee, but he can't keep up on the first step as Avgi gets a foot ahead of Sewanee. Sewanee is left a foul from behind. So a tough break there for the Clan. Sewanee's got a tough check, obviously. Virgil Hill calling for a travel there with one of the officials.
Yeah, and the referees are going to come and check the score here, make sure the score's right. But, Avgi, he's a big body. He's got wide steps. That was a tough drive to the basket, and Sewanee's kind of draped on him as he's going up to try and score there.
Yeah. As Avgi misses the first, and you're right, Z, it's the rare level of a blend of size and athleticism and decisiveness that gets Avgi into those positions where he takes the leading edge and those drives to the basket. He knocks that free throw down. They're going to call it 40-37 now. Still a 1-possession lead here for Western Oregon. Simon Fraser with 1:19 remaining.
And how big would a 3 be here, Howard?
It would be huge, and it's going to be a turnover instead as they look for O'Shea Geary on the top. Going out of bounds, and that's a tough turnover.
That is, and that's an inopportune turnover. I mean, down 3 and you turn it over like that, you don't even get a good look, get a shot away on that. That's a tough one to swallow.
It's a wasted opportunity, but also impetus to dig in their heels defensively as Williamson, number 2, back into the game for Voss. So both of the Aussies on the floor now for Simon Fraser. And both of them have been great in this first half of play. We're talking about Williamson, number 2, and Harper, number 10. Here's the Wolves. They'll put up the triple in and out, and a great rebound there by O'Shea Geary of the miss by Jordan Wiley. Pankratz, the drive, the dish back up top to Geary. He'll come back up and meet it. Pankratz into the paint, jump stop, pivot, hook shot off the back iron, and he won't get the roll. Tough break there for JJ. 40 seconds left here.
Well, they'll get another shot here to before the half is over, so hopefully they can convert on that and get a stop here.
Well, there will be a turnover. It looks like it's going to go to the Clan here. 31.9 seconds left in the Clan, with a chance here to really help their own cause here. Bowen Bakken, number 11, into the game as well now as Geary takes a seat on the bench. Bakken out of Delta secondary now coming over half court. Pankratz to Williamson now. About a second difference between game and shot, and JJ the big strides to the basket, and Pankratz off the window will get it to fall. 40-39 is the score down to 12 seconds remaining in the half. Nichols will play for the last shot here as he takes big strides to the basket off the window, and that is a clutch basket by Nichols. As we come to an end here, 42-39 is the score at the half for Western Oregon, but a one-possession deficit for Simon Fraser, who led by as many as 8 in this opening half of play. A heck of an effort by Simon Fraser. You got to take your hat off to the winless team in the GNAC against one of the best in the conference, and what a terrific job they have done thus far. No, we've actually missed him. So we will take a break here and come back with some stats from the opening half of play. Howard Samur along with Zahid Valley Hashem here from the West Gym. Hope you've enjoyed the broadcast thus far on Clan TV. We'll be back in a few minutes to set up the second half and bring you up to date on the first half as well.
At any given moment at the keg, something special is happening.
One team,
400 athletes strong.
We sing not one,
But 2 national anthems.
we strive to always be better. We put our heart into competition.
We pursue national championships and university degrees.
We care about our communities.
We are
We are Canada's NCAA team.
Canada's NCAA team.
Canada's NCAA team.
We are Canada's NCAA team.
It was just a natural thing that happened, and the very first game was here at Simon Fraser University, and there were 2,200 fans in the old West Gym, and it was just jam-packed, standing room only. It was exciting as could be.
They say the best rivalries need time to take root, yet on the evening of November the 26th, 1965, that theory was very quickly put to rest. The Simon Fraser Klansmen, just months old as a team, hosted the junior varsity UBC Thunderbirds in a men's basketball game. It would be the very first clash in any sport between the crosstown schools.
We were very, very excited about that. I mean, it was an instant cross-town rivalry.
UBC as the established power against the best schools in Canada, and SFU as the new kids on the block, just beginning a pioneering path of competition against American competition.
In the press, there was a buzz about it, and there was a buzz on SFU, this campus, the very first year.
Both teams came to play. SFU, which itself fielded what amounted to a near JV roster with only a couple of non-freshman players, trailed 25-22 at the half. But Klansman head coach John Lee Kutnikoff, who had opened the team's first training camp by having his players piggyback each other up Burnaby Mountain, orchestrated a second half revival.
We were a run and gun team, and we also almost always did full court press. We played great defense. You notice that we held them that first game to 51 points, and we held them down all the way through. In the end, SFU won the game 61-51, and as part of its 17-5 first-year record, would win the rematch 76-65 at UBC in early 1966. They would also sweep the series the following season. In 1967-68, UBC finally began to send its full varsity to oppose the Klan, and that season, in a home and away 2-game total point series, the Klan were once again victorious. It was just the start of, well, we're going to beat those guys, and we're always going to beat them. Of course, that didn't always happen.
But what that first basketball game 50 years ago spawned was the start of one of the most intense and unique rivalries in all of North American collegiate sports. By 1967, the first Shrum Bowl football game would take place, and over the last half century, while more intermittent than fans of the two schools would like, the rivalry has spread to include soccer, track and field, volleyball, and softball.
It was a thrill. It was basically just a real thrill. We had a team that worked really hard, and John Lee Kutnikoff had an infectious personality, and we were ready to get that rivalry started, and it was great.
When I first came to SFU, I thought I knew exactly what I wanted. When I got into my second semester, I suddenly wasn't so sure what I wanted to do anymore. So I started to explore a little bit. Archaeology, communications, history, even kinesiology. And then I decided to go on exchange to France for a year. I was an orientation leader for a year, became a community advisor in residence, helped start a choir, I even took a rowing course. After SFU, I have lots of possibilities of what I could do, but whatever I do, I know I'll be ready for it.
It's on us to stop sexual violence.
We are Canada's NCAA team.
With 400 student athletes in 17 sports.
Together, we can end sexual violence at SFU.
To look out for each other.
And not look the other way.
To get a friend home safe.
To not blame the victim.
It's on us.
It's on us.
To speak up.
To step in.
To support those who need it.
To be a part of the solution, not the problem.
It's on me, it's on you, it's on us.
Because consent matters.
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 Learn more about how you can contribute to a culture of zero tolerance towards sexual violence at SFU by visiting sfu.ca/sexual assault.
Because together, we can make a difference.
Hi, I'm Christian Berger from the football team. You're watching Clan TV, home of Canada's NCAA team.
My name is Olivia Aguiar. I'm on the women's soccer team, and you're watching Clan TV, home of Canada's NCAA team.
And welcome back to the West. Jim Howard Samura along with Zahid Valley Hashim. A 49-44 42-39, check that Western Oregon lead over Simon Fraser. And we are back on the air about 5:42 before the start of the second half here. And I'll ask producer engineer Gabriel Lynn for some assistance. Am I going to be turning? We'll then be joined by Zahid Vali Hashim, our analyst here courtside. And sorry about the technical difficulties here from courtside. And thank you, Gabe Lynn, for that direction as we get ready for the second half of play. Looking at some of the numbers and what jumped out at us from that opening half of play, as we mentioned, 42-39, Western Oregon with the lead over Simon Fraser. And the Wolves and the Clan both shooting 45% from the field. Actually, Western Oregon at 46% when you round up there. But both teams shot the heck out of the basketball, Z, and it was a entertaining first half of play for this crowd.
It was great. There's a ton of energy on both sides. Obviously, SFU is really pumped up to play this game, and you could see that. They're playing with a lot of passion. They're playing with a lot of energy. And, there was a stint there where Western Oregon obviously chipped away at a large SFU lead and did take a 1-point lead at one point there. And, it's Avgi. I mean, he's their guy, and they're going to go to him. In a situation like this, his experience, his skill is unstoppable in this game, let's face it. So, SFU's got to do a good job of staying out of foul trouble and, trying to stop him and stop the rest of the Wolves.
Well, we talked about rebounding and what it looked like in that opening half of play. In 23-17, the rebounding edge for Western Oregon. Of course, the rebounding numbers aren't always going to tell the tale if you don't combine them with a lot of other things, including field goal percentage. But Avgi had 7 boards, Z. He didn't have any offensive rebounds. Western Oregon had 6 offensive boards in that first half of play. You got to think Simon Fraser did a pretty good job of limiting second chance opportunities for the most part.
And they were hustle plays. Yeah. There's a lot of guys jumping, rebounding, and guys following their shots and going in after rebounds. Like, if you look at the rebounding action, you're getting 3-4 guys jumping up tip, and SFU unfortunately didn't come away with those. They weren't easy rebounds for Western Oregon to get on the offensive glass.
Well, 5 lead changes in that opening half of play. Simon Fraser building a lead as big as 8 points. So a solid job for the Clan. And Z, I know that a big issue here, and we talked about this off the air, was a great team, Western Oregon. They've got their record for a reason. They can make adjustments at half. Talk about that.
Yeah, and they will. I mean, in this league, every team you see, they come out in the second half, and they're always good at making adjustments to the half. And with their well-coached team, experienced team like that, they're going to make adjustments and see what they can do to show who they really are in their eyes, right? And we're going to see that here in the second half. So SFU's got to be prepared to handle that storm.
We'll see if the Clan are indeed ready to handle that storm. They know it's coming. As we mentioned off the top, the Clan without 4 regulars, and they are down to 9 players on their roster. Max Barkley, one of their top scorers and one of their top guards, not playing, ruled academically ineligible, has an appeal, and could join the team Saturday for their game against visiting Concordia of Portland. Tonight, Concordia, of course, in Western Washington and Bellingham to play the Vikings, and a tough task for the Cavaliers there. Right here at the West Gym, look at some of the numbers from that opening half of play. Simon Fraser was led by the 13 points of Michael Harper, and we talked about Harp having a great half. He was 5 of 6 from the field. He got off to a slow start too, he really came on in the end.
He did, and 5 of 6, 2 of 2 from the three-point line. He's obviously gone to the free throw line where he's 1 of 3 there, but and he's played 20 minutes. He played the whole first half, and that's a guy that you need who can play 20, and I wouldn't be surprised if he plays all 40 minutes of this game.
Harp had a great game, and his fellow countryman Andrew Williamson, getting his first start for Simon Fraser at the NCAA Division II level, really responded well. He knocked down a triple, 2 of 2 from the stripe, and 3 of 7 overall. Second leading scorer with 9 points in 16 minutes. As well, 6 points for Gibran Sawani playing in the front court against Andy Avgi. 5 points for J.J. Pankratz, and 3 apiece for O'Shea Geary and Hide Voss. On the other side of the ledger, we mentioned 6 of 9 from the field and 4 of 5 from the stripe for Andy Avgi. 16 points and 7 rebounds in 19 minutes of play. As well for the Wolves, 7 points from Jordan Wiley, 6 from Alex Roth, 4 apiece from Devin Alexander and Julian Nichols, and 3 for Nick Nestel, and 2 points for Tanner Omlid. And that'll round out the scoring for the Wolves. We mentioned both teams shooting in the mid to high 40s in that opening half of play. Both teams shooting well from the 3 as well. The Clan were 4 of 8 from outside the arc for a 50% total there.
And the Clan are getting good looks. I mean, one stat that I look at a lot is how many assists they have compared to how many field goals they've made. And they've made 14 shots with 9 assists, whereas Western Oregon, 16 shots and 5 assists. So, I mean, obviously a lot of that we're getting drives to the basket, one-on-one action, but SFU's passing the ball, sharing the ball well, and, and they have 9 assists to 6 turnovers, which is, good stat to have.
I love the turnover stat as well. And Z, great stat about the assists, really showing that ball movement, and as you mentioned, sharing the basketball. And we had time to share some news with you here, and tonight tell you that tonight's game is presented by White Spot, a proud supporter of SFU athletics. From cheering on the sidelines to providing award-winning burgers to fuel athletes and fans before or after a game, White Spot has your back. To find a White Spot location near you, visit whitespot.ca. 16 seconds here as we get set to begin the second half of play. Today's broadcast being brought to you on Clan TV. Our producer engineer, of course, we love to mention Gabriel Lynn, who's done a great job of getting Clan TV on the air with the multiple camera angles and setting us both up here courtside, Z and myself, to give you the play-by-play description of this GNAC men's basketball game. Now set to begin the second half of play. And Western Oregon in red. And they are moving from right to left on your video screen. Here they are. Jordan Wiley to number 10, Julian Nichols. Nichols ball reversal right back to Wiley for the three, and it's going to go off the iron. Big tip there, though, by Devon Alexander to recycle the possession. Alexander drives, kicks it back up top, and they will blow the whistle down low.
They call Avgi in the key for 3 seconds there.
3-second call turns the ball over, and the Clan hold Western Oregon pointless here with a chance to pull within one or tie the score here early in the second half of play. O'Shea Geary, cross-court pass to Harper. We mentioned Harp 5 of 6 in the opening half. Behind the back move into the paint. Harper powering his way to the glass. Can't finish, but Sewanee there with the offensive rebound just can't get the finish. Avgi leading the break here, and he muscles his way to the basket. That strength counts for a lot, and Avgi now battling for a loose ball. Down on the floor, though, great move by Roth to pick it up. Nichols out to Wiley for the three, and there it will fall for Jordan Wiley. And that is a clutch series of plays by Western Oregon to keep possession of that basketball and find a way to score it.
Yeah, they had a couple offensive rebounds there that really tough for SFU to swallow, and they of course they just missed another shot there, so Western's going to get another shot with the ball here.
There's Harper with a catch and shoot off the front of the iron, Z, and very quickly Western Oregon down the floor. Simon Fraser does not want to let the guys in red build some momentum. Here's Roth with a reverse look underneath. He's going to get fouled on his way. I believe Sewanee, number 21, is going to get called for the foul there indeed. Jamron Sewanee.
And sorry, Howard, sorry to interrupt, but SFU can't let this get away from them early here. They really got to stay focused and do what they were doing in the first half. They're doing some really good things to stay in this game, and they can't let Western Oregon flex here and take over.
I agree with you completely. We talked about those adjustments at the half, and we'll take a patient look at what Western Oregon is doing as Roth misses the free throw. But there was a time in that first half when Simon Fraser was dictating the tempo of play to take the 8-point lead. Here's a three ball from the corner, but Williamson is not going to fall. And the Clan in a bit of a pickle here, trailing by 7 and not wanting to let that incredible first half performance go to waste. They're showing a bit of a zone look here. Maybe a little change up, a little knuckleball on defense to see what they can do, but Western Oregon looking for those gaps, and this guy loves to exploit them. Number 10 is Julian Nichols. Working around the Avgi screen, reverse back up top to the big guy. Back on the floor, jump stopper Roth, and there he goes in and out of the cylinder, but an offensive rebound. Another one, gee, as he's fading, is going to hit a huge shot. We just talked about the fact that Simon Fraser didn't let them have multiple looks at the basket in the first half.
And I think they've had 4 offensive rebounds here in the first 2.5 minutes of this second half.
Well, I think they had 6 total in the opening half of play, and that's got to be the topic here. As head coach Virgil Hill convenes his team on the sideline, he's shaking his head as he heads into the huddle. But it's got to be about assignments in the paint, about blocking out, and about bringing more energy on the Clan's defensive glass, because right now this game is right balancing on that edge of getting out of hand here at 48-39.
It is, and they got to do a better job on the boards. I'm just looking at the stats here, and 7 to 2 on the rebounds, and 4 of those 7 rebounds for Western Oregon are on the offensive glass. And Alex Roth with great hustle play there. I think he got 2 or 3 in a sequence there, and the putback count it, and timeout by SFU.
Alex Roth, the 6'4" redshirt sophomore from Salem, Oregon, West Salem High School. And as you said, Z, 2 offensive rebounds, including the second one where he's fading and falling to the ground. It's a real tough shot. And all you can do is give kudos to Western Oregon for the start they've managed to bring here in the early stages of the second half. The timeout set to expire here. The Clan breaking the huddle and heading back out onto the floor. JJ Pancratz, number 22. Michael Harper, number 10. O'Shea Geary wearing number 1. Jabron Sawani, number 21. And Andrew Williamson is number 2. It's going to be Alexander, Nichols, Wiley, Afke, and Roth on the floor for Western Oregon. Clan basketball. 25 on the shot clock. Here's Williamson. Roth guarding him. The quick pass to Geary. Hesitation dribble into the paint. Great dump off on the baseline to Jabron Sawani. And coming out of a timeout, you love to see that execution.
Absolutely, and obviously they talked about some things there, and they need to get back into this game, and that was a good, solid offensive set there that led to an easy 2 for SFU.
Big basket for the Clan. What can they do defensively as the Wolves come out, and Wiley skip pass to Roth on the baseline. Great dive there by Geary, can't do it, and again, it's Roth that kills the Clan. He's turning into a bit of a garbage man underneath. The 6'4" redshirt sophomore from Salem, Oregon. Back-to-back baskets now for number 2, and it's a 50-41 lead, largest lead of the game now, 9 points for Western Oregon. Here's Williamson. Skip pass batted away by Alexander. Wiley, Roth down the floor, off the window, doesn't go, and it looks like Williamson is going to get called for the foul, the body underneath.
Yeah, and SFU's not playing the same type of game they were playing in the first half. Obviously, you mentioned that they felt like they were dictating play in the first half, having a lead of up to 6 points. And now they're playing comeback, and Western Oregon is definitely dictating the pace of this game.
We'll see if Simon Fraser can find what they need to try and manufacture that. This Clan team has got at least one big run left in them. We're early in the second half, though.
And Avi's just checked out of the game early here in the second half, so this is a good chance for SFU to maybe look at get some looks inside the paint and see if they can do some damage in the post.
Well, Avgi only sat out 1 minute in the first half, and at that time, Jabron Sawani, number 21, also was not in the game, but Sawani is in the game right now as Geary pumps up from the three-point arc and misses. 51-41 the score, 10-point lead for the men in red. Western Oregon. It's Julian Nichols, number 10. They're content to milk the shot clock a bit here. Here's Alexander. One-hander off the window is going to fall in a one-on-one matchup down low. And right now, these are points in the paint with ease for Western Oregon. Those claps coming from number 10 of the Wolves, Julian Nichols, as he tries to get his team in a groove defensively, but a foul underneath is going to go against Western Oregon. And Michael Harper is going to step up to shoot some free throws. Timeout on the floor right now. We'll take a short timeout as well and be back with more on Clan TV.
One team,
400 athletes strong.
We sing not one,
but 2 national anthems.
We strive to always be better.
we put our heart into competition.
We pursue national championships and university degrees.
We care about our communities.
We are
Canada's NCAA team.
Canada's NCAA team.
Canada's NCAA team.
We are Canada's NCAA team.
The West Jim, Howard Samura, Zahid Valley Hashem, your broadcast team on Clan TV as the players resume this contest with 15:48 left, a 53-41 lead for Western Oregon. Time to let you know about the student club of the game. It's Thursday night, and we're excited to have Alpha Kappa Psi join us as our VIPs for our student club of the game presented by Club Elia. This club aims to provide resources for enhancing the educational experience of future business leaders right here at SFU. So we want to say welcome, hope you enjoy the game, and a thank you to Club Elia, our sponsor, for making this possible. Harper at the free throw line. Tough sledding there for Harper off the back iron. 53-42 our score here. The gap at 11 points right now for Western Oregon.
Coming out of the media timeout, hopefully SFU can get a stop here and earn some points in the other game. Avgi back in the game, so it could be a little bit tough in the post.
Well, they're moving the ball well, and Roth had a great look at three. Can't knock it down and trying to break free there. O'Shea Geary. And just to show you superstars don't get treatment in this league, Avgi getting called for a foul 65 feet from the basket.
And he was chasing O'Shea Geary. There's a point guard down the floor, and only bad things can happen in that situation when you have that size mismatch.
I agree with you there, Zane. O'Shea Geary is not just a point guard, he's a pretty speedy guy as well, as most point guards are, but Geary has a second gear, and this time he will draw the contact underneath. The pure freshman with a nice up and under fake is going to get Roth, or check that Nichols off his feet.
This is a good opportunity for O'Shea to get a look at the basket. He's 1 for 5 in the game, and looking at the replay here, obviously it was a hard foul, but a common foul, and O'Shea can get his touch back here. There you go.
And O'Shea Geary makes the first. So a great move there, and thanks for the replay on Clan TV.
And O'Shea's good on the second one, so getting back into this game. Still down 9, but get a couple stops, hit a couple shots, and you're right back in this thing.
Clan showing some resilience here because, as he mentioned, Western Oregon with their best stretch of the game to open the second half of play. We're 5 minutes into the second half of play. Backing in and going off the window. The big guy, Andy Avgi. The Clan had put the locks on those kind of moves for a while, but
and he's got quite the arsenal, though, Howard. I mean, 7 of 11 in that, that footwork and that touch, those hands, those tight end hands.
Those Gronkowski hands are coming in handy in close and rebounding wise, as Avgi just showed you right there, snaring that ball and going right down the floor with this time with the helper. Avgi is going to find teammate Jordan Wiley for the layup, and 57-44 now, a 13-point lead, biggest of the game. As Tyrell Lewin, number 23, coming off the Simon Fraser bench, and we'll check into the next stoppage. A look inside for Sewanee.
Yeah, and SFU's they're forcing things a little bit, trying real hard to get in this game, and that just gave up a fast break the other way with Avgi with the long pass to Roth, who gets the easy 2, pushing the 15.
Avgi's racking up the dimes now, as you mentioned, Z, and easy baskets in transition can take so much of the wind out of you. These ones can get you back, though. Hit a Voss.
That's a good shot, coming off the screen like that, and O'Shea found him open there for a good look, and he's able to hit that 3.
Well, Clan right now, we call it treading water here. They're trailing by 12. They're not letting this thing get too far out of hand, but they are still on that in that danger zone. Avgi spinning, turning, and virtually unstoppable.
Yeah, he's really good with that spin move, and we've seen that time and time again today. I mean, he's hit 8 shots, and I think probably at least 5 of them have been that one spin move that he goes to the left and lays it in across the body of the defender.
As you mentioned, Z, 8 of 12 from the field and a steal now. Roth is doing everything right now, and he's getting a ton of easy baskets. Virgil Hill wants a timeout, and the Clan will get one. They are struggling mightily right now, trailing 63-47. Of course, a one-possession game at the half. And Simon Fraser right now in danger of slipping off the court in terms of their competitive level. Battled so hard for the first 20.
Yeah, and they're in tough. I mean, they're down 21-8 here in the second half. Avgi's got 12 points on 5 of 8 shootings. He's outscoring SFU on his own here in the second half. So like we talked about the half that, Western Oregon is going to make, some adjustments, and obviously you can see that those adjustments are paying off, and they're really flexing their muscles right now.
Simon Fraser has mentioned 25% from the field, 2 of 8. Voss, one of those. with a big three-pointer. But Simon Fraser losing its offensive identity right now at the hands of the Wolves, and that's never a good thing. This Wolves team, as we mentioned, coming in 5-1 in the GNAC, 12-2 overall. Simon Fraser 1-11 overall and 0-6 in the GNAC. So while you might have predicted a Western Oregon win, you certainly wouldn't have predicted the first half that Simon Fraser played right there every step of the way with the Wolves. Can they muster a rally in the face of this great team? O'Shea Geary thinks he might have the answer here as he pulls up for a long jumper that's going to go off the rim.
He's struggling with that long-range jumper today. I don't think, he's only hit one shot all game, and he's struggling the last couple games actually with that long-range jumper. So that might be something he wants to work on more in practice, or maybe get a different look on that possession there.
Certainly with Barkley not in the lineup, he's a full-time point guard, which he hasn't been prior to the team's Alaska trip. The jumper there from Julian Nichols is going to fall through, and 66-47 is the score. Western Oregon on the verge of making this a 20-point lead in the blink of an eye. Here is Geary to Pankratz for the three off the far iron, a little too strong. Janvier Alabi, number 4, one of his rare appearances in the contest right now on the floor for the Wolves. Partner in the backcourt with number 10, Julian Nichols. A great look by Nichols underneath, and he's going to find Omlid for the easy layup.
And SFU's just deflated right now. You can just see they're lacking the energy defensively. Like that was obviously a mental slip there, and left number 11 wide open under the hoop with no one within 20 feet of him.
No one within 20 feet of Omlid, who makes the easy layup there. This time Lewin cutting to the basket, working hard, can't get the roll. Hits the deck underneath. Geary looking for his second basket of the night, is not going to get it. But O'Shea will draw the contact. And you look at O'Shea Geary, the body language he tells you, the frustration level he is facing right now as we look at our replay screen on Clan TV. Gide Voss with the basketball quickly will find Geary. And Lewin battling hard underneath as we watch, and this time Geary with the rebound.
Yeah, and I mean he worked hard, and I like to see O'Shea, on the boards. That's something that he hasn't been doing particularly well this year in terms of following his shots or following the play and getting in there on the rebounding action. They could really use him, and it's nice to see him be able to get in there and get that rebound and earn the foul. Yeah,
the productivity is what you want to see, though, and with O'Shea Geary, you're right, he's logging minutes. He's got the ball in his hands a lot, and sure, he wants to facilitate others, but his opportunities off his jumper not going for him tonight, and I know he's got to have a level of frustration over that right now. O'Shea Geary, 1 of 6 from the field, has gone to the free throw line 4 times, so 5 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists. Solid numbers across the board, but
yeah, I mean, he's struggling from the floor, but I mean, I like to see the 6 rebounds. He's leading the team in rebounds from the point guard position, so what does that tell you? That he is going in there, he's playing hard, he's getting in with the big boys, he's not afraid of the size mismatch. Obviously, one of the smaller guys on the floor, but he's going in there and he's battling really hard.
And tempered his game a bit too, right after those 2 offensive fouls in the opening quarter, or opening half of play early on. So O'Shea Geary going through the freshman curve here, and really, I think one of the reasons to be excited about Clan basketball in coming seasons. A great recruit for head coach Virgil Hill. I think you look at the freshman potential of Lewin and of Geary, and you like what Hill was able to do with limited time, bringing in 2 real quality players. There are the 2 guys we just talked about. Penetration by Geary, the dish underneath to Lewin.
Absolutely, the Ontario connection there, and obviously, as many of us Canadians know, Ontario, Toronto in particular, is a very much a hotbed for basketball talent. He's able to get 2 quality guys from that area.
Of course, Coach Hill, a product of that himself, the same province, and coming out, and obviously his association with Jay Triano, and all a part of the fabric and the tradition of Clan basketball. And upon his hiring, Virgil Hill, the head coach, really harkened back to some glory days of Simon Fraser basketball. I think it's alums suitably on notice, and really love the fact that we were referencing past Clan greatness as he attempts to get this program back to a level of respectability and beyond. In the half court, a low pass there, Pankratz, so great hustle to keep it alive, and they'll find Harper for the 3. Harper a little short. That would have been a big basket here.
Yeah, they could have used it. I mean, they had an opportunity, an open look there. Unfortunately, fell a little bit short, and Western Oregon's going to slow things down here in the offensive end and try and run some clock.
5 of 6 for Harper in the opening half. A great take to the basket there by Omlid's not going to go. And Voss quickly bringing the ball back up court. Hide Voss to the corner to Pankratz, little head fake drive into the paint, and JJ coming up a little short as he goes for the nice easy layup. The timeout being called on the floor right now, and time for us to let you know about some of the updates. And if you haven't checked out this series, please go to athletics.sfu.ca, go /50 moments, and if you're a Simon Fraser University Sports Clan fan, you're going to have an opportunity to celebrate the 50 most incredible moments in Clan athletic history, because the Clan, SFU, Simon Fraser, the university, and the athletic department turning 50 years old this season. You can visit our website, as we mentioned, it's athletics.sfu.ca/50 moments to check out all of the amazing articles, video features, and photo galleries from this project. Came out of the Clan Athletic Department this summer that celebrates so many of the great moments over the past half century of Simon Fraser Clan athletics. Back to main action here on Clan TV, in Western Oregon in white with the ball. That's Omlid. Number 3 now checked into the game for Western Oregon, and that's Kadeem Strickland.
That's Western Oregon giving some of their bench an opportunity here with the sizable lead.
And Omlid off the dribble beats Lewin to the basket. He's an interesting package at 6'4", a redshirt sophomore out of Monmouth, Oregon, home of the Wolves campus. There's Pankratz, off-balance shot, couldn't get the backspin on that ball. It rolls off the back iron. We're down to the final 9:38 of this contest. And right now a 21-point lead, all Western Oregon.
It's not a call you see very often at this level, but referee Rob Holloway called him for a carry there, coming around a defender there.
So give the ball to Simon Fraser. And Graham Smith now into the game, number 20, the long-armed freshman out of Pitt Meadows. So great amount of potential there for Smith to become a glass cleaner down low. Here's Lewin, the handoff to Harper in the half court. A referee and a coach standing right in front of me, missed the jump shooter, but the ball tipped there right into the hands of number 4, Janvier Alabi. O'Shea Geary going to be called for the foul. His third of the game, first since the early stages of this contest. And Devon Alexander, 0, will check out of the game. Nick Nestel has checked into the game and will inbound. We've also got Jordan Schreiber, number 24, in the game, as well as Kadeem Strickland. So some of the bench guys, as Z mentioned, now into this game with this 21-point lead and 9 minutes remaining.
And like I said, SFU, obviously playing deflated, and Western Oregon just scoring at will here.
Well, another rebound there by Omlid. Strickland, the 3-ball. Kadeem knocks it down from outside the arc on the far side of the floor. Strickland pulled off the bench, knocking down the triple, and it's 73-49. Geary, little head fake. Omlid doesn't bite on the baseline, loses possession of the basketball. And it will be Western Oregon's with 8:39 remaining. Foul being called on Graham Smith, and I'll excuse my studio audience as I just have a shout out to our producer engineer Gabe Lynn for some instructions again, some clarification on our next timeout.
That's a tough shot by Strickland there. Just pull up jumper, nails it.
Well, Strickland hit the 3, Z, and as you mentioned, showing some shooting skills there, knocking down the medium range shot, and Kadeem Strickland off the bench with 5 quick points here for Western Oregon. Here's Harper driving off the glass, And they're going to call the travel on Michael Harper. A tough break here for Simon Fraser. Trust trying to get some kind of offensive mojo going here in the last half of the second half. It's just not happening. There's a timeout on the floor. We'll take one as well here on Clan TV, and we'll be right back with more from the West Gym.
It's on us to stop sexual violence.
We are Canada's NCAA team.
With 400 student athletes in 17 sports.
Together, we can end sexual violence at SFU.
To look out for each other.
And not look the other way.
To get a friend home safe.
To not blame the victim.
It's on us.
It's on us.
To speak up.
To step in.
To support those who need it.
To be a part of the solution, not the problem.
It's on me, it's on you, it's on us.
Because consent matters.
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 Learn more about how you can contribute to a culture of zero tolerance towards sexual violence at SFU by visiting sfu.ca/sexual assault.
Because together, we can make a difference.
Howard Samura, Zahid Valley Hashem here from the West Gym, and back to second half action, 75-49 for Western Oregon. And what a second half Western Oregon has enjoyed, shooting 67% from the field. Simon Fraser, in the meantime, 3 of 16. They're shooting 19% from the field in the face of that here in the second half. And that man, Kadeem Strickland, is absolutely on fire. 3 for his last 3. This time knocking down the big shot from the far corner.
And that's his second 3 too. And you know, you can talk about the field goal percentage in that one right there. One that's going to add to their total a little bit.
Yeah, he is adding to it, no doubt. Here's Smith. Graham Smith fumbling a bit, back to the basket, turnaround effort, up and under move, fading from the basket, and Graham Smith, a great job, the Pitt Meadows freshman.
And that's a good move. I mean, you know, Virgil really likes him, and he feels that he's going to be a guy that's going to develop and, you know, be a contributor on this program in the long run.
Oh, the freshmen galore here, 3 of them on the floor right now for Simon Fraser. Along with Hide Voss and Michael Harper, the other 3 guys, pure high school freshmen. Straight out of high school, rather. There's a shot there put up by the Wolves. It's going to fall shy. Simon Fraser wants to finish strong here. Harper, little fake, and will put up the triple, and he's going to knock it down. Michael Harper.
6 of 10, Howard, for 17 points, and that's his third three-pointer, and he's going to make most of those open looks he gets.
You're right. Harper's had a great game. Fortunate that the game got away in those critical moments of the second half, as Zahid pointed out. They were in danger time and really made the great adjustments, did the men in red Western Oregon, to pull away and full value for their 24-point lead here. Smith a little too aggressive there on the perimeter. And Smith will commit the foul against number 24, Jordan Schreiber. You see Harper teeing up that triple on Clan TV replay. Harper, great job. Harper's going to check out for his countryman, Andrew Williamson, number 2, who was another bright spot here for the Clansy. I know it's been a tough night, but Andrew Williamson showed him some good energy with a start in that first half of play.
Absolutely. Obviously getting his first start, a guy who plays, you know, under 10 minutes a game, and you know, I'm not exactly sure, he's probably got about 16 minutes at least here today. So, you know, it's great to see him getting some action out there, and he made the most of it early in this game.
Yeah,
for sure.
He did. A big 3 early, good energy, and really looked like a part of that starting group. There's a great move, great take off the glass by Janvier Alabi. And he's going to score it for the Wolves right back down the floor. Smith trying to get that offensive rebound. Came close, couldn't get it, but he creates this breakaway opportunity. And he'll put it down, Will Alabi, with one hand. 6'1", a 200-pound junior out of San Diego, California, and Kearney High School, rising for the guard dunk. Hide Voss, though, has the answer, and he's going to put down a 3 on the other end.
And obviously 2 different styles of play right now. We've got Western Oregon, who's obviously trying to slow things down, run some clock. You know, and SFU is obviously, anytime they get the ball, they're trying to attack and, you know, get quick scores to try and see if they can get some points to chip away at this big lead here.
Yeah, a couple of players, we mentioned this off the top. Denver Sparks guest and Matt Rudd products of Glen Eagle and St. Michael's University School electing to leave the program, in the last little while here. And players, I guess, who, obviously you want to play, you want to help your team win, and it must have been tough for those guys. Their decision was, from what I've heard, to leave the program. And Pop Sek, a 7-footer, has never been able to really kind of fully get going here in this program. He's not with the team right now, and we mentioned, off the top, Max Barkley sitting out academically ineligible today. 4 guys out of that group, and you get down to some numbers. Bowen Bakken, one of the guys who's surviving, and number 11 now on the floor for Simon Fraser.
And things like that, when players leave, it not only affects gameplay, but also you got to think about practice too, right? I mean, the energy, the level of competitiveness in practice, and the bodies that you need in practice. I mean, like Western Oregon, look at them right now, going deep into their bench, and and they're still cycling guys in who haven't played. Number 25 Schreiber has just come in, and he's a guy who hasn't played all game yet. Yeah,
you're right about that, and that's a big body they're able to put on the floor. Of course, Alabi has really come alive, and that was a tough fadeaway shot that Janvier Alabi just knocked down for Western Oregon. Great point you bring up, though, Z, about practice, that you want to go hard, you want to play the same way you play in games in practice, as practice just as hard, and you can't do it when the numbers are compromised the way they are right now for the Simon Fraser team. Here's Smith, turnaround move. I think Graham's MO there, just get to the free throw line. Good job of shot release there to get to the free throw line.
And I like the physicality. I mean, he's still battling, he's still trying hard, no matter what the score is. We've got just under 5 minutes to go here in the game, but still playing hard, and earns a trip to the free throw line.
Yeah, and you know what? As you mentioned, your numbers go down, and you start to see guys near the bottom of the bench really rising up in terms of their numbers and their ability to get in there and play. Bakken and Smith, guys that are getting bigger looks today. And their opportunity, with a lot of season left to play, give them a chance for some big opportunities of improvement here. 4:42 remaining. Western Oregon's Nick Nestel, number 12, thought he was going to use the Schreiber screen. This time the long jumper off the far side of the iron. Bakken, some nice hustle. Knocking it out of bounds, but it's going to stay with Western Oregon. They're going to reset the shot clock here. 4:30 remaining, and the Wolves with a new shot clock and a chance to creep towards 100.
So we're going to have an offensive foul here, the push off. She's going to get the ball back here and see if they can chip into this 25-point lead with 4.5 to go.
Well, that was Schreiber, number 24. My apologies. I was talking about the big body on the floor. Schreiber is one, but so is number 25, Buster Souza, 6'8", 230 out of Concord, California. Also on the floor right now for the Wolves, who may be going to their bench, but look as big as they have at any point in the contest. Simon Fraser's basketball, 17 on the shot clock.
Another Western foul off the ball on number 24. That's his second consecutive foul, and both of them off the ball, one offensive and one defensive here.
And Schreiber, though, it's surprising, is a senior out of Tillamook, Oregon. Twice being called, as you mentioned, away from the play, called for fouls, and this time Lewin gets a chance to shoot some free throws. Tyrell Lewin. Flick of the wrist won't do the trick for the freshman. And there he goes right back down the floor, number 23. Nestel quickly to Souza for the jumper. Doesn't even draw iron on the jumper. And Williamson leading his team back up the floor. Andrew Williamson off the foot of Hide Voss. So a tough break there for the Clan. They're going to turn the ball over. We're just under 4 minutes remaining.
Yeah, that's a tough turnover as we go into media timeout here for SFU to, go off your own player and out of bounds like that.
Talk about Concordia coming into town and the challenges there for Simon Fraser, who really want to get something productive out of this weekend, Z. You got a team that's new to the conference, new to the whole rhythm of opponents and travel. An opportunity, I would think, for the Clan to try and get something done if they can.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Concordia is not particularly one of the stronger teams in the league. They're 4-9 overall, 3-4 in conference play, so perhaps a winnable game for SFU. Obviously, looking for their first W, and Concordia, the new kid on the block, is and the women have had success against Concordia this year already. So hopefully the men you can also have the same success against the new kid in the block. It's certainly their first time up at SFU, and they've been close. They beat Northwest Nazarene in overtime. They beat St. Martin's, which is a decent squad this year. And obviously they had a tough time against Seattle Pacific in their last game. So hopefully SFU can take advantage of that. They're coming off a big loss, and they're traveling up north, coming down from Portland, so it's a long way up. So hopefully SFU will be recharged after this game and, look back at some of the things they did in the first half and see if they can use that to their advantage on
they need
on
a level.
Saturday.
You're right about that, Z. They need a level of desperation here to get that first win. They're not going to get it any other way. And Concordia, perhaps that first opportunity comes Saturday. This is Nestel, number 12, set to inbound the ball quickly. Allaby back to Nestel as they cross half court. Western Oregon riding with their bench players right now, but the bench players have done a solid job here. There's Janvier Allaby, number 4, at the free throw line quickly to Souza, back on top to Nestel. Screen being set there by number 40, Connor Thompson. He's a redshirt junior, a 6'8", 220 out of Roseburg, Oregon. The size that the Wolves can bring on is impressive. They've also got a 6'9", 200-pound redshirt sophomore out of Grand Pass, Oregon, J.J. Churnside, who we have not seen in this game. So a lot of size there on the bench for Western Oregon, along with their great guard play. That's why they're the GNAC's team to beat this season.
Yeah, and they pose a tough matchup for any team in this league. I mean, obviously, SFU, one of the smaller teams in the league in terms of size, but they play with a lot of heart, and some of the teams are just more physical, right? And that's where they struggle.
And so let me ask you this question. You saw how competitive SFU was in the first half, Z. Is it a matter of a young team unable to make the second half adjustments, or is it a young team with not enough depth in order to continue their game plan and make that wave of momentum go through the second half?
Howard, I think it's really the way the season's gone so far, and that they've hung around a lot in the first half, and it just seems like they've hung with a lot of teams in the first half, but maybe it is their youth that is showing in unable to maybe counter adjust, if you will, to the changes that their opponents have been making in the second half, and that's where they've lost a lot of games is in the second half.
Zahid Vali Hashim on hand as our analyst today, and we thank him for joining us, and he'll be on Clan broadcast throughout the season. And if you've enjoyed what Z said, I gotta say kudos to Z, because this is the first game on the collegiate level he's done the color job on, and we can't say enough about the great job Zahid has done today on Clan TV. 3:14 remaining and well out of hand now, 86-59 the score. So 27 points the margin here. Simon Fraser, I don't know that they're even looking at the scoreboard, because from their perspective, these are young guys right now getting a chance to play and get better in this league, and that's what they're going to do to the final buzzer. Bakken quickly to O'Shea Geary. Geary, nice pass to Lewin. Great cut down low by Smith, but a triple team of size on Graham Smith snuffs out the Pitt Meadows product underneath.
He went in there with the bigs, and 3 Western Oregon players collapsed on. It was tough to pick who got the block on that, as there's three hands in on that block there.
It was Connor Thompson, it was Buster Souza, and it was Jordan Schreiber, ranging in height from 6'7" to 6'9", all three converging on Graham Smith.
And Bakken's going to be called on the foul there and send Allaby to the line shooting 2 here now.
So Bowen Bakken, number 11, getting a real good stint here on the floor, and one of the holdovers from the previous regime here of James Blake.
And talking about the previous regime and the changeover, and talking to Coach Hill, he really feels like, in the coming years, he's, going to be able to kind of turn things around. Obviously, the men's program here up on top of Burnaby Mountain hasn't been particularly strong over the years, as strong as the women's team, or maybe perhaps like a men's soccer team or something like that. It's one of the, men's basketball and men's football, obviously, are 2 marquee programs in any athletic department that have kind of struggled over the years. So, Coach Hill understands the challenge and that he's facing, and he's accepted that challenge.
I like the young players he's brought in. He's got to recruit positionally. Obviously, he's going to do that, but We want to see some nice size come in. We want to see some maturity from the guards next season. And Williamson knocked down a nice triple there. So Andrew Williamson has been one of the bright spots here in this game as we cue it up on Clan TV replay. Bakken quickly finding his way around, and they're going to kick it back out. And this time it's going to be the triple from Williamson. Great form for Williamson to knock that down. And our thanks for that replay. Instant look on Clan TV. Courtesy of producer-engineer Gabe Lynn, twirling all the knobs and dials today from Mission Control here at the West Gym. Number 24 is Jordan Schreiber. As we get down to 2 minutes remaining, Schreiber making a pair of free throws, 90-62. It'll look in the box score like a blowout, but look at the first half numbers if you want and see what this young Clan team is all about. Here's Lewin, couple bounces quickly. Smith's baseline jumper's not going to fall, and right into the hands of Souza.
Now, you talk about looking at the box score, how it's going to look like a blowout, but how well they played in the first half, and I really hope that the coaching staff here stresses that and emphasizes that in their post game and even in their pregame, on Saturday, because I really think that's a winnable game, and if they play how they played in the first half here, I think they can have some success and maybe pick up a W on Saturday.
Yeah, a W on Saturday is a possibility and certainly be a great reward. And you're right, Z. It's the way you want to look at the box score. It can be half empty, it can be half full. And I think you have to look at it half full tonight based on the level of competition this Western Oregon team brought to the top of Burnaby Mountain here tonight. Nick Nistel, as we get down to a minute to go, they're going to look down low on the baseline for Schreiber. Smith there to break that up, and quickly O'Shea Geary quickly to Bowen Bakken for three. Geary following the miss, gets the rebound. Lewin threw it off the side of the face of Souza. And Williamson hustles. And I don't think Williamson's going to have any trouble adjusting to this starting group if that's going to be his position in coming weeks here, depending on what happens with Max Barkley.
Not at all. And I mean, obviously the coaching staff must have seen that he can play or he can't start. I mean, obviously they see him in practice, and obviously he's definitely shown that he's capable of starting in this league.
Wow, I've been so impressed, and he just flows. It looks effortless to him because he's got a great stride and a great motor. He's also got some great anticipation and can shoot it a bit too. He's knocked down a couple of triples in this game as we get down to 25 seconds remaining. Western jumper is put up, and hope you can stay with us after the game as Z and I present a brief post-game show. We'll break down some of the numbers in the final box score from this contest. 90-65 the score. We should let you know that hashtag Consent Matters SFU is something we need to tell you about. Throughout the month of January, members of the SFU community will have an opportunity to participate in hashtag Consent Matters SFU, a conversation to raise awareness about consent and the resources available at SFU in the event of a sexual assault. In support of the initiative, SFU Athletics and its student athletes created a PSA that acknowledges the shared role the whole SFU community has in promoting a culture of zero tolerance towards sexual violence. You can watch the video on our YouTube channel at athletics.sfu.ca/ClanTV. Just wanted to bring you that as this game comes to an end. 90-67 is going to be our final score. The Western Oregon Wolves move on to Western Washington for their next game, improving to 6-1 in the conference. Simon Fraser falling to 0-7. 90-67 the final score. We'll take a very, very brief timeout here for a few seconds. Be right back with a final box and some closing comments.
At any given moment at the keg, something special is happening.
And we're back with you, Howard Samura, Zahid Valley Hashem here at the West Gym, and some thoughts, Z, on this basketball game tonight. 90-67. We can look at Simon Fraser's discrepancy in field goal percentage from first to second half. 14-31 for 45% in the first half, only 8 of 26 for 31% in the second half.
Yeah, and I mean, Howard, we talked about it all game. I think the one thing that you can take from this game is how they played in the first half. They hung in there. This is the toughest team that they're going to face probably in this league. Top team in the league. They faced a big body in Apke, and and they held their own. They went toe-to-toe with them. Like, you look at the numbers in the first half, and they really hung in there. And it's unfortunate that they couldn't continue that momentum into the second half. But if there's a positive that you can take from this game, it is that.
Hey, let's just talk about some of the numbers. And you talked about ball movement from Simon Fraser's perspective. 15 assists on 22 made field goals is certainly a number you want to toot the horn a bit about. The ball moved well. The Clan were 8 of 16 from beyond the arc as well. So the shell of the offense, what they want to be about, what their offensive identity is supposed to be growing towards, we're starting to see it more.
Yeah, and I think O'Shea did a good job. He didn't shoot the ball well. I mean, I think he ended up here 1 of 7, 5, 6, but he dished out 5 assists. And coming into a position where he might not be necessarily as familiar as with what he's done prior to this game with Barkley out, but I think he held his own in that regard. He did have 5 turnovers, so he did turn the ball over at some inopportune times as well, and there's a couple that just went plain out of bounds, which is really frustrating, especially as a coach, to see that you didn't even get a look at a shot on those possessions. And then obviously Western Oregon, I'm getting my schools mixed up, was able to come back and turn those into points the other way. Second chance points, Western Oregon was very strong on the boards. 13 offensive rebounds compared to SFU's 21 rebounds. So they're hanging in there on their own glass with SFU, and those offensive rebounds turned into 17 second chance points for Western Oregon.
And when you look at the bench points too as well, I mean, they were pretty equal at the half, but 29-15 in the final tally here. Western Oregon cleared the decks. They brought out the second string, and even those guys, you see the quality and the skill that they have in that second unit C. I mean, this is a deep and talented basketball team that's got a chance to make a run at a national title here.
It is. I mean, you guys got like I thought Alabi had a really good game. He ended up 3 of 4 with a couple rebounds, and he played 20 minutes, just under 20 minutes. So I thought he had a really, really good game, and they're deep. I mean, you had 6, 7 guys that come off the bench and can contribute and play minutes. I mean, you guys had off the bench, they had 19, 15, 11, 9, and 7 minutes. So you obviously are deep, and that's what's going to take you, like you talk about, deep into the season. If you have a deep bench and you have guys that can come off the bench and replenish those starters and play at the same level, you're going to be a successful team. And
we can't say enough about Andy Athke. Played 27 minutes, 8 of 12 from the field. Took a seat early, but the damage had been done. He leads the way here with 20 points, a game high, along with 9 rebounds. Some of the other numbers, Devon Alexander, 18 points. Alex Roth checked at 18 points. And double figures as well. Jordan Wiley with 10 points. For the Clan, Michael Harper, 17 points, 6 of 10 shots, 60% from the field. And his Australian countryman, Andrew Williamson, with 15 points. So 32 points from the 2 Australian players, and there was some great chemistry there. They set each other up a couple of times, and you got to think that that's going to get better. Here's the season.
Absolutely, building. And this was a great opportunity. If we talk about the chemistry, and that might have developed in practice or in gameplay, but now to have them starting together, and if they have that familiarity with each other going forward, you're just going to see good things from them. And they move the ball well amongst each other. They've had some great open looks. Led to some exciting scores for either of them. So that's something that's going to develop. And they played a lot of minutes too. I mean, it was really nice to see Harper. 3 of 4 from 3. He had some good shots early, and he was able to knock him down. Played 34 minutes, but overall, I think they played a great first half. And if we can see that on Saturday, I think we can get a W.
Well, you know what, Z? I know you're going to be hopeful. I won't make the broadcast on Saturday, or I will be. I'll probably be on the broadcast with you Saturday. So we will call the game 7 o'clock, Concordia University from Portland in town, and the Clan still searching for that elusive first win in the GNAC. We'll wrap it up there for the post-game show. Our thanks again to Sports Information Director Steve Frost, Executive Producer Engineer Gabriel Lynn at Mission Control here atop Burnaby Mountain. For Zahid Valley Hasham, I'm Howard Samura. We say good night from the West Gym.